I didn't really go into relationship in life knowing all that I wanted. I don't know if that makes sense. You know how that sometimes it feels like we know what we want, but maybe 5 years down the line, you realize that what you were actually looking for was like the bare minimum. Do you get? So, hello guys, my name is Judith. If you're watching me for the first time, thank you for watching and tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel. I will really be grateful to you for doing that. So, here I share life experiences, I share my story, I share opinion, hoping that someone can learn from it while I also learn from my community. So, please, you're welcome. Just going back to memory lane and thinking about how I started my first relationship, it was more like me having this. So I feel like I had a matured sense of knowledge, information growing up. And early enough in my life, I was exposed to some things like conferences and reading books. Thanks to my late elder brother, he really helped me so much in that area. Years down the line, I realized that for every time that you expose your mind, this is the truth that most people don't realize. For every time that you expose yourself, expose your mind, um, you tend to drift more to knowing what you want better, especially when you were raised in a kind of setting. So there are people who are raised in a different family setting where their father is their standard trigger, and they just know that this is what I'm looking up to, and anything below this is bare minimum. Now, for me, it was different. Why? Because if you grew up in the East, if you understand the average Igbo man and his patriarchal nature and attitude and character, you have a sense of my background. Okay, so I just knew that there were some things that I did not want, even though I had seen them in my dad. That one was the first thing I know I looked out for. When people don't feel so much emotional connection to their fathers, sometimes they also tend to make mistakes because they meet people who show them an idea of love, and immediately they feel connected because there is something that they are looking for. Now, I'm going to talk about that in a different video other than this one, okay? So we don't mix it all up. So now, growing up and understanding myself every day, I remember I was in one particular relationship where at some point the guy will always tell me, grow yourself, improve yourself, develop yourself. And honestly, at that point, I didn't really understand what he meant by develop yourself, groom yourself, because I was kind of, what else do I need to do? Is it in the reading of the book, or what else do you mean by improve yourself? And as at then, so I was also reading and exposing my mind. So imagine someone telling me that all the time, and I'm like, is there something else that I need to do that I don't even know about? Fast forward to now me giving my life to Christ, which helped me again to now do more of my intentional looking for relationship through prayers. Okay, so connecting with God, fellowshipping with God, being a believer, I will tell you, was the best thing that ever happened to my life. Do you know why? Because sometimes you don't know what you need. It's God that knows what you need. What you know is what you want. So some people say, oh, I want a guy who is God fearing, a guy who prays, a guy who can lead the family. Imagine that you meet a guy actually who looks like he has a relationship with God and you're attracted to him by that, and then you get married to that person, not knowing that that person has not been transformed by Christ. They've just been pretending all the while. It's in the house that they showcase themselves. Because I kind of fell into something like that where it felt like, okay, I was looking for someone who was, Jim, as we call it. But along the line, I realized that no, this is not it. Because if you claim to love God, if you claim that you fellowship with Christ, if you claim that you have a relationship with God, you should always look out for opportunities to get better. And when something like marriage counseling is presented to you, if you want to get married, you should jump at it, right? Because that's the normal thing that you should do as someone who is looking to improve themselves. And guess what? This marriage counseling is going to also be in church, you know. So honestly, sometimes we don't really know what we need. We only know what we want. And that is why I would encourage any lady who is watching me, honestly, while you're looking out for the son of God, because one thing I told God is that you're going to give me one of your sons. You're just going to give me one of your sons. One, that was one of the things that I did, And secondly, I kind of erased my mind from thinking of a preconceived way God should do it, thinking of it, how the person should look like. You know when they talk about not pouring old wine into new wine skin, what that meant was that in every way that I felt this is what I wanted, I was okay for God to push me to a flex. I was flexible enough for God to push me to a place that I'm not familiar with. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So that meant that this person might not be my spec. This person might not look like the person I was looking out for with my normal eyes. Do you get? So I kind of entrusted God to just help me through it, believing that He knows my future. Me, I can talk about now, but He knows my future. And so I just trusted Him with that decision. And I will not lie to you, God surprised me. Because at the end of the day, the person I got married to didn't meet my, when they say your spec and all of that, he's someone that he was growing day by day. A teacher, in fact, the word teachable encapsulates it, because this is someone who is willing to improve in every area of his life. This is someone that has a relationship with God. As to the Jim that I was looking for earlier on, like, God just told me, the way I say it to people, I always say that God just told me, you don't know what you want. Just calm down, I will help you. And that was exactly what He did. So I see so many ladies who fall into the trap of always just looking for material things. Material things are beautiful. I will not lie to you. Money is good. But then again, what is the need of money if you'll be in that environment not happy? Because being in marriage, imagine that you have 100 years to live. You've lived 30 years of your life as a single person, not married. And so you now get married at the age of, say, 31 or 32 or 35. So you have the remaining years to live with your partner by the grace of God, right? Now, that other years, you will want to really spend it with someone who you're going to be growing with, not someone who will just see you as someone they can throw money on. And because they give you money, then they can do anything that they want. Mm-mm. Now, the way I see it is this: if you get to marry someone who is teachable, who has a better understanding, who is self-aware, who fears the Lord truly, you will realize that it will be easy for you to build wealth with that person. I'm telling you the truth. And you build it happily, because the two of you have got your backs. The two of you are aligned. The two of you share the same value. The two of you are interested in each other's interest. The two of you are growing together. So this helps your journey to be more peaceful. Now, I'm not saying that everyone or anyone is perfect, no. But there is a place where you see someone who is willing at all times to get better. That even when they fall short, they can acknowledge and say, yes, I did wrong and I'm sorry about it. Do you think it's everyone that can say sorry? Do you think it's everyone that is willing to have transformation done on them? Do you think it's anyone that is willing to even be aware of you, sensitive of what you want and your needs? It's not everyone. So it's something that while you tell yourself, this is what I want, leave allowances and also entrust God as you pray to help you meet the person that you need. And while He's bringing that person, be sensitive so that you don't pursue the person away because the person doesn't look like what you want. The person doesn't look like the destination you're going to. The person is not dressed in the manner that you want. You don't make permanent decisions on temporary things. For instance, someone you met and then maybe he doesn't chew well or he doesn't dress well, but you know that aside that this person is just wonderful, kind, teachable. Why not talk to them about that area? You never can tell. Sometimes it's because of how people grow, sometimes it's because of the environment they found themselves, sometimes it's because of family. There are so many factors around that. Why not avail yourself to also be helpful in that person's life in that area to teach them? You don't assume that every adult knows it all. See, let me tell you, nobody knows it all. Oh. So it's okay for you to teach this person and also allow them to teach you, because it's a two-way thing. You think you know it all. Wait until you meet the person God is bringing you, when you realize that you don't know it all. There are so many things that you need to learn and unlearn, and the other person also needs to learn and unlearn. So this is where I'll be ending this video. I hope that you got value from it, and I hope that this video helped you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next video. I just had to break all the procrastination today to say, you know what, I'm going to shoot this video and I'm going to post it because I've been busy. Like, I have my toddler, who I'm taking care of, and sometimes it can be a lot. I have a lot to share, honestly. I have a lot. Stories. Even with what I have said, I don't want this video to be very long, but I have stories that I'm going to share, going forward, that is really going to help you to gain wisdom and make the right decisions. So until I see you in my next video, my name is Judith, and it was nice talking to you. I'd like to see your comments and let me know if this video was helpful to you. Okay, bye.